Right, back behind the wheels, and this time with Rudolf.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Awesome location you got here.
Yes, it is. And I ran into you, and I realized that both of us have been working for Tele2
Yes.
in the past. Yeah, and you spend a lot of time on understanding traffic on the internet and on ISPs, and what that means from a sustainability perspective, and I guess business perspective as well.
Yes. We're a consulting firm in the Netherlands, and one of the things that we ran into was that we did calculations on data center energy consumption in the Netherlands for our clients, the municipalities around Amsterdam. And then somebody said that we had forgotten about 500 megawatts of streaming capacity that will be needed in the next couple of years. And I was going like, but why? But it turns out there's a whole academic literature that says that you need that. And it was actually became part of the Dutch National Grid's policy. And so then you start to wonder, like, okay, something's going wrong here. People are using the wrong data and then making the wrong national policy decisions.
I think that is a very common mistake in not only this industry but in many industries, that you kind of reverse engineer various figures, and then you use the result of that reverse engineering as some kind of benchmark, and then you scale it up. And as a matter of fact, that was not at all how it was supposed to be done. So you get into wrong conclusions, right? So what do you have some examples of figures that has been completely wrong or something?
Well, anybody who bases themselves on kilowatt hours per gigabyte should just stop straight away. If you look at those numbers between different mobile networks and fixed networks, there can be a factor 100 difference, whereas they use per site the exact same amount of energy. Mobile networks are about sites, fixed networks are about whether you use fiber to the home and then how many customers you have. Using fiber is a lot less energy than copper networks.
And this is actually nowadays is not an industry thing, right? It's a political thing, because this is part of a debate that goes on in Brussels. I know that you were in Brussels a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe a lot more. When was that?
Several times already, but we have, for example, a report written for Deutsche Telekom by a German professor saying we need to stop the growth of streaming because it costs too much energy and Deutsche Telekom can't handle the traffic. But I look at the numbers, and according to Telefonica and all the other guys, it's like 3 megabits that they're currently handling. And really, if you can't handle for your entire country 40 or 50 terabit of traffic, you shouldn't be running a telecom network, because here at IBC there are people selling boxes that do 300 terabit in one box.
Yeah. Now, I think this fear of the internet traffic breaking internet, I have personally been building internet since the beginning of, 2001 more or less, then at Ericsson and then at Tele2. People have always told me that it will soon break due to the traffic. They have always told me that this doesn't work over IP.
Yep.
So there are some kind of some statements that flourishes that are kind of permanent statements. And one after one we kind of prove that they are wrong. And so you are not so worried about the traffic on the internet, it sounds.
No, absolutely not. Look, I got my first internet connection at Twente University in 1994. We had 10 megabits on campus. And certainly when we got 100 megabit in 1998, we started streaming, everybody. And then I started reading reports even then already that video couldn't be done over the internet. And we were watching Star Trek.
Yeah, I remember the same thing.
This has happened ever since. When I worked at the OECD in Paris, people said traffic growth and quality of service couldn't be done over the internet. And Netflix was already doing it.
Yeah.
And it is so sad because it forces people to do suboptimal decisions, like, reduce stream quality because they're told that is good for the planet, whereas it actually costs more on encoding and decoding.
Yeah.
And they don't have the capacity problems.
No. So are there any, based on your research and your findings, are there some conclusions that are kind of general that use these kind of policies, these practices and so on, and we will be able to manage the traffic and maybe also in a sustainable way?
connect in as many places as possible, make content caches go as local as possible. Like Netflix, according to some rumors, has about 100 caches distributed across the Netherlands. Well, that's smart. With 800 or 8 million people, that's about one cache per 80,000 people. Hey, that scales.
Yep.
And you don't have to carry all that traffic. Telcos can help there, but also content providers. Talk to the local networks, ask them what they need. If you can deliver it to a box in a major city, and that saves both parties money and makes it better functioning, but work together and try to look at it end to end, and don't think that just reducing bit rate will help, because probably it will cost you money and it will cost them money, and yeah.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that there are plenty of opportunities for content providers and streaming services to work together with operators to create more efficient architectures and deployments than how we have it today. Yeah. And if we do that, all these conclusions that are based on false data just falls apart, because they will realize that they were based on some assumption that isn't true.
Yeah. And efficiency, you don't measure that in bit rates. It's not more efficient to send less traffic.
Yeah.
It can actually be more efficient to send more traffic and be happy with it.
Yeah, no,
and
it's
because you need to do less on the encoding side, you need to do less on the decoding side, and really the network in the middle shouldn't care.
No, I fully agree with that. That's very interesting. So I think we're coming to the end.
Awesome. It was a great drive.
Yeah, it has been fantastic to have you in the car, and looking forward to follow your future reports, and you are very active on LinkedIn and so on, and sharing a lot of very good information.
Wants to further discuss, please get in contact.
Excellent. Great to have you in the car, Rudolf.
Thank you.
Thank you.